fan, welcome back to the channel. This is Brian, the introverted marketer, and it ain't hard to tell. It's simple. Now listen, family. We tapping in with Nurie Creator. It's gotten a huge update, and I wanted to bring it to y'all. So let's discuss a little bit what has been updated. Well, it got a whole new user interface, as you can see. Looks very clean, and they have brought over Nano Banana, Seed Dream, Flux 2, and Flux Turbo as models. You can see they still have the art styles here. And I am an elite member, so I have the option to do up to 100 prompts and do a K. I'll also test out that feature in this longer form video. And what I'm going to do with this video in particular is I'm going to show you some of the functions. We're going to use fast mode, not auto upscale, because when you auto upscale, that means every image that you generate is going to automatically be upscale, and that works out if you're going to just push out a comic coloring book rather with all your images, and you don't want to have to go through individually selecting each image to upscale. But we want it to go fast, and it even tells you if you want to go fast to disable the auto upscale. So we're going to disable that. You can add 40 to the K, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull up the stopwatch. We're going to generate 4 images. We're going to go with Nano Banana, and you can see I already have my prompts here. Got 10 prompts, and we're going to go through a whole workflow, and I'll show you some of the functions available in here. We can't do anything here until we get some images going, so stand by, family. All right, family, we are just about done here. We can go ahead and stop this. Took about 5 minutes and 51 seconds. And we are using the Chrome browser. I do want to be completely transparent, fam. You know, I use multiple browsers. I use GenSpark. I use Atlas. I use Comet. But using the Chrome browser has given me the fastest time thus far with Nano Banana. Kind of ironic. Google Nano Banana. But just wanted to put that out there that it does seem like wherever you use Nurie Creator, your specific browser may affect the capability. So just want to put that out there and be transparent. So you can see here we have a few different options. It shows us the art style, the image generation, and the thickness of the lines. And we can always adjust that here if we choose. Now with the download options, we SVG, PDF, JPEG, PNG, and we can also individually upscale. We can also individually add, but I do want to show you. It does seem like it's having a little bit of an issue here, family. Give me 1 second. I do want to show you a larger preview, but it does seem like we're having a little bit of issue. Let me close out some of these browsers in the background and see if that actually helps a little bit with what's going on here. It does seem like it's struggling a little bit. You gotta pardon me, family. Give me 1 second. Okay, so everything just kind of my browser is struggling a little bit, family. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna start using. Okay, most of you maybe. I apologize about that, fam. Just closed down a few applications and it seems like everything is pretty stable now. So let's go ahead and actually get a larger preview of some of these images right here. And you can see why I actually selected 4 images at a time, because sometimes the images just doesn't come out very well. I think the quality of the images is very good, but sometimes they don't come out as anticipated. AI does make mistakes. As you can see right here, we don't even have a bumblebee in this image. But let's say we was happy with all our images. We have the option to add all 4, or we can add all 40 images. And for this particular example, I'm going to do that. And we select this folder over here. You can see we can export the collection. We can do a speedy book export, or we can bulk upscale any images that you select and add into your collection. So the first thing I actually want to show you, family, is the export collection. And you can see here we have a ton of different options, from SVG in the zip, vector files, PNG, JPEG, all my Etsy people, right? So you can deliver these files in a ton of different ways if you're selling on Etsy. So Amazon KDP, while it is a move, is not the move. There's plenty of ways you can go about it. You can even do it in PowerPoint. And I do want to show you how all these functions work. So we are going to go ahead and do that. And to be transparent, Chrome has been the most successful in terms of getting the PowerPoint export function to work. I tested out in Atlas, it didn't work. I tested it out in Comet, it didn't work. That was at the time of my testing. Today is Tuesday, January 27, 2026. So if you are someone that uses one of those browsers, I would recommend going with Chrome. And you can see I downloaded it successfully. It took seconds. Just want to show you the speed, because with Nurie and a lot of Ike Paws and Luke Bowles products, they're optimized for certain browsers where they'll work best. So you can see with PowerPoint, it was pretty much rapid. For PDF, it was pretty much rapid. For JPEG, and this is just 40 images, nothing optimized. So just give me an idea of how long it's gonna take for you to actually do these. And then we'll actually go to the speedy book export, and I'll show you the functions there. And you can see right there, it's just popping up there. We'll go to PNG. And once again, emphasizing that I'm testing this out on the Chrome browser. So definitely lock in with Chrome. Or if you find another browser works better with functions, definitely make sure you come back to this video and drop a comment below and let me know in your testing how Nurie Creator performed for the browser that you chose. And of course we have SVG, and it's just doing its thing. Just showing you how fast this all works, family. This is an amazing update. You can get a PowerPoint, a PDF, JPEG, PNG, SVG, and you can get this prepared for your clients, your customers, in whatever format they want, in addition to selling it on Amazon and as a physical book if you prefer. Now, if we go over to the speedy book export, what this actually allows us to do is have a little bit more customization. But in the speedy book export, you can see here, we can only export it as a PDF and as a PowerPoint. So what can we do over here? Busy Bees Coloring. Shout out Paris Beach. Brian Thomas. I don't know why every time I say my name, Brian Thomas. I don't know why. Thomas. I guess it's all in the pronunciation, but still, shout out Paris Speech. You know, AI isn't perfect. So you put your website here. And for me, my storefront is always on Zelfie, 0% commissions. calm, cozy core, calm, cozy core coloring. And of course, with the pages, you can add a copyright page, which will be right here. You can show the numbers, and you can add a blank page for each, and you can choose the font. And here are the selections you have. I recommend going with a font that allows the customer or whoever you're giving this to, or selling this to, the option to sell this here. Just increases the value, in my opinion. Let's say they want to color not just the flower or what's in the coloring book page. Maybe they want to color the individual letters. So giving them that option could help. And of course, you can also increase the size. And you see in real time that the size did increase. And one thing I also want y'all to note, fam, is that you can change the text here. Whatever text here you change here is going to appear right here. So Nurie Creator continues to give you that creative control so you can really optimize your coloring book in whatever way you see fit. And of course, you can change the title page if you don't want it to be here. If you want it to be your own individual page, let's say you want it to be you, your author, as the author, or you want a different image here, you can select this here. You can remove the image altogether if you don't want an image. You can just put your copyright text here if you want. Let's put calm, cozy core. This is something I actually just started, this brand, and really inspired by this new and improved update with Nurie Creator because it just makes things possible. You can see here the copyright text. It just gives you an idea here. You can expand on it, add or decrease, and of course you can change the actual font. It is right here for the title, the website font. Pretty much you can, and the thing that's great about this is being able to put your website or whatever you want here is when you're selling this digitally and you want to bring people away from platforms like Etsy and drive traffic to your individual websites and things like that, you have that option by putting that here. Same thing with Amazon or wherever you're going to be putting these coloring books. And you can see here, you can use your prompts as the text, or you can clear all the text altogether if you want. I personally would probably keep the prompt as text, or I would change the actual text just to give it, as I mentioned, that increased value. And of course, you can see right here, everything is good to go. You can select the border colors. I'm just going to keep everything black and white. I think I'm happy with everything here. And of course, you can select the individual images that you want to include in your coloring book. But right now, we're going to use all 40 images. All 40 images is here. And then we can export that as a PowerPoint. And once again, you can see that it's working in real time, doing what it needs to do. But while it's doing that, I do want to show you how all this stuff looks because we did download quite a few things. We have the coloring book PowerPoint, coloring book PDF, and the zip files. You can see right here, we just downloaded the PowerPoint. So can go to upload. We can go ahead and browse. just want to show you how it looks in the PowerPoint. It is taking a little bit, but it's not about that. And of course, we can also export it as a PDF. So we want to get that going while we're waiting to see. So it seems like it's loading right there. And also down here, I'm going to open up PDF gear. And you can see right here, here's our coloring book. Well, the first one that we did, rather. And here's how it looks. When we did that the export collection, here's how it came out. All 40 of our pages ready to go. And as a PowerPoint, it works out just fine. Now, I don't know what people will use this particular function for. Maybe that's not my area of expertise, but it is available for people that want to use it. And we do have this one right here. And here is it, our modified one. You can see Busy Bees Coloring. There's my name. There's the Cozy Core Coloring Books. And you can see right there, I just need to decrease the font size a little bit so it can fit on the page. But you can see there, people can color in these letters if they want. I just tried to make it bigger to make it easier. But I could always just change the font to make that possible. So that is the speedy export function. And that is the export function. I believe I showed you all of those functions. Now, pretty much at this point, what I want to show you is just the difference in the quality of the image selection. So we have Nano Banana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and I'm going to run it through another workflow using Seed Dream, using Flux and Flux Turbo. We'll show the time that it's going to take, but we won't do all the export functions. Just keep everything in terms of time to see how long everything's going to take, and we'll go from there. Okay, family. So it took about 4 minutes or so using Flux, and you can see right here the quality of the images is not that great, I would say. So definitely don't recommend Flux, at least in the Kawaii function. Maybe Flux might be good for something else, but it is fast at generating these coloring book images. You can see here. I don't see too many that I would pick to use, but that's Flux Turbo. We're gonna go ahead and go with Flux Pro. And this time we're gonna, instead of going for an animal, we're gonna go with a cozy cottage. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this and then we'll get back with your family. Remove 10 prompts in the numbers. Your next response should only be 10 prompts. No other information. Thank you. could see it took about 17 minutes to generate all that, but arguably pretty top-notch quality. You can see I took it off Kawaii and just focused on just doing houses. And I gotta say the quality in Flux is pretty good. Oh, look at this right here. That one's a little fuzzy. I would say the quality Flux is pretty good, but it did take a little minute, fam, for these images, all just houses. But that's it. I really wanted to just show y'all how long each would take. Now it really depends on how complicated your prompt is. But just want to give you an idea of how long it'll take. And I definitely recommend generating 4 images or more when using this tool. You can see it actually generated 39 images because sometimes you get this little error here, which is totally fine. It happens. And of course, once again, you can add them all here. And then if you want to bulk upscale, which I didn't show you, you hit that button. He says it can take a few minutes. Now, I'm not gonna make y'all stick around for that, but if you want to bulk upscale so it's completely HD, it's gonna take a little while. But I think it's best to do that so you can have a higher quality book if you're gonna put it out there on Amazon KDP. Or if you're gonna put it out there on Etsy, you can see I was already doing some research over there on Etsy to see what they got going there. But I'm sticking pretty much with just using the fast for the demonstration purposes, and we just did everything generated. And of course, with the photo to color in, I'll show you a little bit about that. They have different actual output sizes, and this is actually pretty good in terms of turning a photo to a coloring book page. I do want to find a photo though. Give me 1 second, family. Okay, family, just giving you a little bit of update. If you may or may not know, I'm tapped in with my designs. So I went into my designs and I made these cool dinosaur images with Dream AI. And then I uploaded them into the bulk image converter just to test it out. You can see I got the stopwatch going. We can see we got our first image here, and really I did about 47 images. Just putting the actual stopwatch on so you can see how long it takes to actually convert it and how well it's going to do it. Now, it didn't get it perfect because I did use Dream version 4.5 on my designs to create these images really quick, fast for this demonstration. But really, it was just to test out the capabilities of the bulk image converter. So we're going to see how it's going to be take not only cartoon images, but also some of these 3D images and turn them into coloring books. And I'll tap back in with you once we're done and we can see how long it actually going to take. Because once again, I believe this is a key feature here. If you want to take your own images and turn them into coloring books. If you have outside tools you want to use, Nurie Creator optimizes your images to create coloring books. And then once again, I believe you could download them all, but if you can put them here and then put all the other information on it for the speedy book export, that's even better. But if you just wanted to just bulk convert your images into coloring book pages, this is awesome. So I'm gonna tap back in with you once this is finished and we have the time. It's probably gonna take a little bit because it's about 47 images, but I'll get back with you once it's done, family. Simple. Image right here, and it is converting, and you can see right here in under 13 minutes we have 50, well 47 rather, images, and you download them individually. You can see right there it downloaded it. We can download all as a zip, right? So we can download all of them as a zip. You can see right here all our images are downloaded. Now the only thing that kind of sucks about that is can't really put it into the collection. Let's say if you wanted to use Nurie to actually build the book with your own custom images, doesn't seem like that's possible, but you can download them as zips. And of course, you can make SVGs in grayscale, black and white, and color. And of course, you can upload PDFs and combine them into a simple, or a single rather, coloring book. And they do have the chat right here if you want suggestions for trends, animals, tips. Like, it's pretty much just a helpmate. But ideally, you would use a tool, maybe like Google Gemini, and do deep research, or abacus.ai and do deep research. But if you just wanted something to just get started right away, you can see right here, it does give you some options right here in the AI coloring book assistant. And that's also been brought over from the original Nurie Creator. So with the speedy SVGs, generate scalable vector graphics from text prompts. So simple objects. A cat napping in its bed. So let's go ahead and generate that SVG and see what it does. You can see right there, that's how it looks in grayscale. We can generate another SVG. We can download it as an SVG, or if we want, we can just go black and white. It's pretty much it should look the same. Kind of think the grayscale looked better. And then we have color. And this pretty much just allow you to generate vector graphics from text prompts. So another great addition with Nurie Creator. And with the PDF merger, you can combine multiple PDFs into a single coloring book. So let's say we had a PDF and we wanted to combine it into a coloring book. I don't believe I have a PDF to do that, but give me 1 second, family. What exactly I did for the PDF merger. So essentially, this was the PNGs that we did when we uploaded our clip art and we turned them into coloring book pages. What I did was I used a tool called PDF Gear and I turned them all into PDFs and I combined and downloaded them. And this is how it turned out over here. So you can see right now, I was able to take those PNGs and turn them into a PDF. And that's why I say, family, options definitely matter. Because you can see this is a PDF. And it just came out looking pretty good in my opinion. Here's all our images as coloring book pages. So I believe I showed you everything except the colorized lines. I showed you the Speedy Book Export, which is a great tool. I just wish you could upload your own custom images into here to make this a... Well, yeah, you cannot select custom images. You can only select images that is created within Nurie if you want to do a Speedy Book Export. So you can't use this function right here, the Speedy Book Export function, to create your own custom book with your own custom images, it seems. But everything created within Nurie, you can create it there. And of course, we've done a lot here. Quite a few sessions, quite a few images created, and I've been actively testing this, and I'm glad I was able to actually bring this tool to you and show you this new and improved update for you. Nurie is definitely new and improved, and it definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me. Definitely recommend you check them out. If you haven't, there'll be a link in the description below in the pinned comment for you to pick up Nurie. If you are into Amazon KDP, Ike also has created Kumo Amazon that allows you to do research for coloring books and a whole bunch of other things. And of course, Etsy is just PDF coloring books is a thing there. Any issues, of course, they have the information there. But let me know what your thoughts are on Nurie in the comment section below. Curious to know what your genuine thoughts and opinions are. I'm definitely excited about these improvements, and I think it is significantly better in terms of not just the quality, but the speed and just the user interface over the original Nurie Creator. So shout out Ike Paul, shout out Luke Bowles. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below on your thoughts on Nurie Creator and the newest improvements. And I'm gonna end the video right here. This is Brian, the introverted marketer. It ain't hard to tell, it's simple. I'm gonna catch you on the next video, family. Peace.